go to the next one here. Oh, it's Andrew
How
again.
would you feel if, like, the woman's unemployed?
Andrew
altogether?
Wilson gets confronted by plus-size girl, but he wrecked her arguments. These titles are out of control.
Like, is that bad too?
No, men don't give a
All right. Fair enough.
They don't usually care if women are unemployed. It's not a big deal to them usually.
Okay, men don't care
That's how
if women
all
are
men
unemployed.
feel.
I'm not going to put anything in a monolith and say all, but
Well, when you sit here and say men don't give a
well, so when I say men, I am speaking in generality, but I'm not saying all. I would never say all to anything. I've never put anything in a monolith and say this always applies to everybody everywhere, because there's no possible way to do that.
So we're saying,
but human beings do speak in heuristics, and so when I say things like "hand me all of that stuff over there,"
that face she's making is so off-putting.
Right? I'm not saying to hand me everything in the world, right? I'm just saying hand me all of whatever it is that you think it is that I want.
Yeah,
over
but
there.
all of these cups versus all the men in the world is a very different.
Yeah, but all of which cups?
Saying
right?
Like no, but like all of these cups or hand me all of that is different than all of the men.
I'm just explaining.
Yeah, but like you don't want to be pedantic about it, but you're
the explanation of the heuristic. So I'm just saying. The explanation of my heuristic when I say all.
Is that what you're doing?
Right, and I didn't even say all, but when I say men, I'm not saying every man. I'm just saying men in general. So you would probably find this trait more common in men than not in men. Here. Let me give you an example. Okay, men have balls. Now, that's not all men. There are some men who have no balls. You and I would agree that that is true. But when I say men have balls, is there any confusion about what I'm talking about?
I can hold on. I can give a much.
Well, I would like an answer to the question, though. Is anybody really confused about what I'm talking about when I say men have balls?
Sure, but I feel like you're breaking down way what we were talking about a long time ago to men have balls.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
speak for all men because men have balls.
Do I speak for all men when I say men have balls?
You said men don't give a shit. How does that equate to men have balls?
I'm saying.
What did he say? What? Men don't. These clips start in strange places, I think, sometimes.
In general, if you look at
feel
what
like you're
men,
creating like a fallacy here.
What men report as being preferential. What's the fallacy?
Oh, I have all my fallacies written down. We can look it up.
Tell me which.
Oh my God, she wrote down the the debate fallacies. This is gonna be fascinating.
Which fallacy?
Let's see. Ooh, maybe it's slippery slope. So like if
Is she just gonna pick random ones off of the list and just guess until she gets one that kind of fits the situation? I don't think he committed a logical fallacy. He's talking in generalities, so
that wouldn't be the slippery slope fallacy. You know, the slippery slope fallacy is, thing bad is bad because, that's not the slippery slope.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite straw man yet. I know you like that one a lot, though. I don't think it's
definitely
there yet.
not a straw man.
No, not yet.
you like that one a lot, though? I don't think. What does that even mean? He likes to do straw men. He does do them sometimes. I've seen him debate a few other times, but I mean, he certainly does do that on occasion. But I think everyone that debates falls into that sometimes, not necessarily on purpose. But what does she mean? He likes that one a lot. That's very strange.
Yeah, we might get there though.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when you do.
And if you feel like I'm strawmanning you, you just ask me to steel man your position. And then that way you know for sure that I'm not strawmanning.
Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, so I'm clarifying the use of my language. So when I say all, I'm just speaking in generality. I'm not actually putting everything in a monolith.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not saying every single man on planet Earth this applies to.
So for me, so I understand better, how many men are you speaking for?
Well, so general, just over 51% would be general, right?
Okay, and how did you get those numbers?
So
what is the thing, though?
I would look at this from the operation of reports. What men report as preferences and don't
Where
report
do you
as
get those
preferences.
reports?
Well, you get them from a variety of places. Sometimes
Who's we?
You got to let me answer the question before you shotgun the next one.
Sure.
Look in your list of fallacies and read what Gish Gallop means.
I don't have Gish Gallop.
Oh, well, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So she's gonna fire off guesses. She brought a list and it doesn't have Gish Gallop on it. That's like the most prevalent debate. Like, I don't know what you would call like a non-tactic. It's not really a fallacy. It's like a flag on the play, though, definitely.
Shotgun so many questions
Okay.
that I can't actually answer them. You're gish galloping.
Okay.
You should write that fallacy down.
Sure, I will.
Take my course, by the way, on
I
fallacies.
would never take your course.
Take it on fallacies.
I would never take your course.
So anyway,
If you want to beat Andrew Wilson in a debate, probably the one thing you might want to do is check out his course.
you get these things from a variety of places. One place that we get a lot of these things from is Pew Research. Pew Research dives in, especially to dating, quite a bit. And we can pull these things up. So what you would be looking for data like this, men don't give a shit about if women are working or not. You can look at the financial status of preferences that men are reporting.
When you didn't pay attention in class because you were too busy eating. Jesus, these chatters.
In the financial brackets of what they prefer to date, and it turns out they don't really have a ton of preferences there, but women do. So we can.
Okay, now we know what they're talking about. He's basically saying that in general, men don't care about a woman's career when they're picking someone to date. If he's just talking about financial status, then I would probably agree. Like, we don't really care how much money you make, generally speaking. As long as like it's enough that if the two of us are splitting finances, we have like enough to survive. I feel like that's like, as long as it's the bare minimum. There's certainly jobs that are not ideal, that do make a lot of money or not a lot of money. Let's see where he's going with this.
Kind of ascertain here in a general sense that men don't really care that much
I feel like
about
that's
women's financial.
kind of like a hasty
Financials, yeah, we don't care that much.
generalization, no?
No, it's not a hasty generalization. No. Nope.
And the more money that a guy makes, he's probably going to care even less about how much money his partner makes.
No? Okay.
That's a literal explanation for why it is I'm saying what I'm saying. It'd be the opposite of a hasty
But
generalization.
like A plus B doesn't equal C. Not to me, I don't think. Like that.
Well, no, this isn't well, first of all, this isn't A plus B equals C.
You're saying like the.
This I'm just telling you, all I'm doing is regurgitating data at you. That's it.
From Pew Research?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So you
cool.
find it from Pew Research, right?
Cool.
This particular.
Oh, they have the data. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Particular set of data. You can find it in other places too, but it's not very controversial
Right.
that men don't really date based around financial status of women, but that women do date based around financial status of men.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
just glad,
super
like,
controversial.
men
That's kind of
could-
known.
Like, I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah.
But it's
generally,
also-
they don't care that much. No.
So I think we
Not
we
all
even
women,
granted
really.
that we're speaking in generalities here.
Sure.
I
And as
don't
long
think-
as you have like a
I
job,
even think I said immediately after I made my statement, I'm pretty
Probably-
sure I said in
probably be
general,
able to find somebody.
men don't really, when it comes to what they find attractive, don't really care when it comes to women's status or their finances or their money. But you were asking, well, like, how do we come to this conclusion? I mean, so for example, do you think it would be wrong to say women generally prefer tall men?
I don't know that. We love a short king. That's like a whole thing on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm with I'm with Brian on this one. They definitely prefer tall men. It's probably not a 100% deal breaker all the time, but for some women, it definitely is.
like,
Yes.
Women
Yeah.
generally don't want to be hit
Hold
by a
on,
man.
hold on.
I
That's
mean,
a
sure,
general
that's a thing,
question.
but that's
I
abuse.
think anyone wants
yeah,
to be
hit.
That's a
Yeah,
general
people don't
idea.
want to be hit. That's a.
But that's the same general. It's the same general.
Okay, hold on,
concept.
hold on.
It's really not that deep.
Do you think that most people don't?
Jivanik donated $200.
Well, no, it's like
Stop.
I became an attorney so my wife wouldn't have to worry about money. IDGAF what she makes because I make enough. Men don't care. Priority is she's attractive, Christly, and wifely and motherly.
So you can, if you're looking at this, and I can see that you want to look at it logically, which is good. So if you're looking at it logically, let's.
Okay. I mean, I guess if you're a
Quick logic
Christian, then
lesson.
yeah,
If
that would be
I
the
say,
things.
Most people don't want to get hit by a car and die. Do you know that?
Sure.
True.
How do you know that?
I mean, I would.
Because you're
think-
using intuition.
Yeah.
You're using intuition. So can I use intuition to say most women probably like taller men?
I just don't think that's similar.
Well, if everything I see is women with men taller than them, why couldn't I intuit?
I don't see that though.
You don't?
I don't think you're looking in the right place.
Are men on average taller than women? Because if they are, then on average you should see taller men with shorter women, right?
I really don't need to belabor this point. Like, I understand
really
where
do
you're
need
coming
to
from.
belabor
Okay,
this
if you
point.
want to keep
Yeah.
belaboring it, no.
I really need to
I
belabor
don't.
it.
I've swiped through plenty of men who lie about their height. They're 5'9", they're not
Sure.
whatever. Like,
Don't lie about your height. Just don't be on dating apps. Dating apps are bad. Don't do that. Bad idea. Definitely don't lie about your height, because then you have to show up on the date. Like, you can't explain your way out of that. You just can't. You can't explain your way out of that.
I don't think that.
Lying
But
about
most of
your
the time
height,
when you
Jesus.
see a man with a woman, he's taller
Boys,
than a woman.
get it
right?
together.
I mean, I don't know most of the time.
You don't know if they're taller than the woman? What does tall mean to you? Does that mean shorter than the woman? Same height as the woman? Or does that mean is above the woman?
I
say
don't
it's
walk
pretty
down
rare
the
that-
street and count he's taller, he's shorter, he's.
It's definitely pretty rare that women date men that are shorter than they are. That's not the norm. Just based on the fact that men are generally taller. Like, there's not as many short men as there are short women.
taller, he's shorter.
No, but
It's
you
not
do
about
walk through an
you.
airport.
Okay, hey, that's fair.
I do walk through an
all the
airport.
time.
But then
And you
sometimes
see-
I wear heels
Okay,
and
hang on.
sometimes I
That's fair.
don't.
It's not
Are
you,
men
though.
on average stronger than women?
Sure. Okay.
How do you know?
Okay.
Well, how do you know?
So that's scientific.
How do you know?
Biology.
I don't know. How do I know, Andrew?
I'm asking you, how do you know? How do you know it's scientific? Can you quote me the paper? Where are you getting that stat from?
I didn't give a stat to you.
You just said. So if you can't tell me scientifically how you know that men are generally stronger than women, how do you know that? Is it because you just kind
Now
of
I
notice
feel
as
like
you
you're
look around
strawmanning
that
me.
men pick up heavier shit than women do?
Now I
kind
feel
of
like you're
something
straw
taught us.
manning me.
What's
How
the
is that-
straw man?
Now
How
I
is that
feel
a-
like you're
how is that a
breaking
straw
down
man?
Tell you what.
down my argument to something
that's not a
that was
straw
from
man.
before. I mean, that's exactly what it is. That's what I wrote
A straw
down.
man would be if I'm arguing against a position you don't hold. I asked you,
Yeah.
do you think that men on average are stronger than women?
Okay, hold on one moment.
Okay.
Okay,
Is she gonna read
this
the
is
definition
from
now? Oh my
Purdue
God.
.edu. Strawman oversimplifies opponent's viewpoint and then attacks that hollow argument.
Yeah, so hollow argument would be a position you don't hold.
Well,
When it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website, and Wix was perfect for that.
a hollow argument would be like nobody wants to get hit by a car. Obviously, nobody wants to get hit by a car.
Wait,
That's
wait, how's
hollow
that obvious?
versus because nobody. Okay, I don't like. I mean,
So it's okay for me to intuit things based on observation, and it's okay for you to intuit things based on observation.
I
But
haven't
somehow,
somehow
when I make a generalization about these things I intuit based on observation, that's bad. But when you do it, it's okay.
well, I think you are generalizing
Yo, she is so lost. She is so. Oh my God.
for a sex, and it's something that is like. I'm trying to think how I want to say this because. I don't think, I mean, even if I want to backtrack that to say that you're right and it's wrong to make generalizations about anybody, I can make generalizations that I don't know that nobody wants
Yeah,
to
but
get hit by a car.
if you say that it's wrong to make generalizations about anybody, aren't you making a generalization?
Then how would I would say that it's wrong to make generalizations as a blanket statement.
That would be a generalization.
No, it's not.
How is it not a generalization?
Because it's wrong
Yeah.
to make generalizations.
Uh-huh. But that's not general. That's not a general statement.
No.
So would it be wrong for most people to make general statements?
No, it would be wrong to make a generalization.
For
so
anybody?
for you to say most people to make a generalization, that would be a generalization. For me to say it's
Oh.
wrong to make a generalization, that is just a generalization.
Radio, and he says, suspect, white, tall, heading southbound. He's wrong.
I said it's wrong to make a generalization.
That's a generalization.
That's a generalization.
That's a generalization. He's white and he's tall.
That's a
Oh
description.
boy.
It's a general
remember my
description.
first
It's a
debate.
generalization.
A general description
These are
is not a
heuristics. White is a
generalization.
heuristic. Tall is a
Do
heuristic.
you want to get out Webster's dictionary?
Yeah, get it out.
Oh God. If you're debating somebody and you're going to invoke the dictionary, you lost. Okay? Just you make that crystally clear. If you're debating someone and you're about to invoke the dictionary, you have lost.
Bring it up.
Get it out.
Bring it up. Is this how you want to spend the whole podcast? Because I will sit here and do
If you
it.
want to do pedantry, I'll do pedantry.
I don't want to.
Well, then if you don't want to, then just say, if you want to make general statements that everybody can intuitively see are true, like that, well, men are taller than women, men are generally stronger than women, because we can intuit those things as being true generally.
I can
Oh, she's about to fight on the men are stronger than women thing, and we just saw Pixie try to do this, and it was not good.
Then we
take
don't
that,
have an
but
argument.
I won't sit here and accept men don't give a shit about a woman's career.
Okay. Would you accept that? Most don't.
I just don't think that.
Most being over 51% of
No, I
men.
wouldn't accept that.
Okay. So you think that over 51% of men are selecting women based on how much money they earn?
No,
What do you think they're selecting them on?
I wouldn't know. I'm not a man.
You don't have any clue at all? Come on.
So then how could you offer refutation to anything I said if you just don't know?
Because I don't think that you know.
But even if I give you the stats,
If you gave me the stats, I would believe you.
that's it though.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, Brian, can you pull up the stats on whether or not men are looking for
I would
women's
absolutely
income?
shake your hand and say I was wrong if you gave me the stats.
Yeah, you can pull
I
them
guarantee
up.
they
Pull
don't
them up
shake
right
hands,
now.
but I guarantee they don't shake hands, and I guarantee that there is a stat that supports this.
Sure.
Men definitely do not select women based on their finances, but the other way around is true.
Okay.
Is Nick pulling those up? Yep.
Does
We
age
could have
play
done
a
this 10 minutes
factor?
ago. That's all I needed.
I mean, if this kind of. So the thing that's interesting is, I wouldn't think that this would be the thing you'd want to challenge, because this is beyond
No,
obvious.
it wasn't. That's why I didn't mean to keep going on
Beyond
this.
obvious, but
Yeah,
it's fine. We'll
sure.
pull them up. We'll pull them up.
That's why there's like actual sugar baby sites, you know, like a lot of apps just for women to find.
When I was looking at these clips to find some interesting ones, I looked at some of the live streams, and some of them go on for like 8 hours. Like this is like an 8-hour podcast sometimes, and I think I know why now.
Find men
They're
who make a lot
sugar.
of
They're
money.
sugar men.
I feel like there's
you know.
more ones for.
What about
like,
gay?
Yo, I'm down to be a sugar man, whatever that is, anytime anybody wants. Just give me a call, hit me up.
Men? Is that how are we factoring that in?
I don't think
For
that
what?
really happens often.
We're talking about men and women, not men and men.
We were talking
Yeah.
about sugar babies.
Even
okay.
if we were factoring in gay men, there's
Well,
still
It's not the
that's
same. I see what that. I
there's
see how
still
that's
a
different.
very small
Because we're
percentage
looking,
of the
but we're
population.
looking for women who are, concerned with somebody's finances.
Yeah, we're just seeing
Yeah.
if men generally are selecting based on finances or the fact that they want to have sex with the chick. I say that it's because they select for beauty,
Sure.
not money.
Okay.
That would be their primary reason.
Sure.
Beauty might be the initial attractant, but I don't think that the actual selection is primarily based on beauty at all. At least it definitely isn't for me.
Are we saying for sex or for relationships?
No, they're selecting physical
Initial and primary are two very different things.
characteristics, not external than physical characteristics. Meaning if you're a really hot chick who makes really a small amount of money
For sex or
versus an ugly
relationships.
chick who makes a lot of money, most men will go for the attractive
For
chick who makes
sex or relationships,
Both.
'cause those are
Both.
two.
both.
No.
Probably yes, but again, we're talking about just the initial part. Like after that, there's still a bunch of other measures.
I can
Yes,
actually
both.
answer this.
Absolutely not.
Hold on. I think you're actually setting us up perfectly with this question.
Perfect.
So I'm actually prepared to say that when it comes to what Andrew's saying, that men select more when it comes to beauty, physical attractiveness. You're saying sex, casual. When you say sex, are you saying like just simply casual?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would actually argue that when it comes to sex, men are far less selective, just sex.
Absolutely.
When it comes to looks.
For just sex, yeah, absolutely. It's just looks. That's all. But for relationships, I don't think it's just looks. I don't even think that's primary. That might be the initial attractant, but I don't think it's the primary one.
To get into a relationship with a man, he's going to be far more selective when it comes to looks.
And other
But
things.
he's still going to prioritize looks in the relationship.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I would also,
over
like-
the
It's going to be
financial
a
status.
priority,
But-
but not
Which is the point.
the
Would you
primary
think
priority.
Also
Over
that-
financial
let me-
status,
let
probably.
me pose a situation to you. If there was a woman, like a really beautiful woman, she was so beautiful, but like way in debt, $20,000 in debt, versus a woman who was like, not quite as beautiful, but like, there, you could fuck her, you like, that's okay, you wouldn't mind. But like, she made a lot of money and you wouldn't have to worry about it. What would you do?
So if you make a prioritization, and we can say this value here, in this case, X is beauty, is the thing that they're prioritizing over all other things. Doesn't mean everything else is worthless as a value add. It just means this is the primary thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that.